This video will go over how to create and save new files on your Mac to Google Drive file stream, which will enable you to save directly into your drive and not have to save to your desktop or a specific device. And that way your files are accessible across devices as long as you're signing into your Google account. So we're going to try a Word document. So if I'm creating a Word document, brand new Word document, we're going to call it the most awesome document ever. And we'll go ahead and do a file save as. We're going to make sure that we're saving it as something. So it automatically grabbed that first line. So it's calling it most awesome document ever. But if it doesn't grab that, you might want to make sure it's a title that you recognize. And your screen might look like this, where it's a little bit smaller of a screen, and it might be defaulting to save to your desktop if that's normally where you save to, or maybe your documents, you have a particular folder that you save to, or that's where all of your document folders lie. The inconvenience with that is that it lives on your local device, and so if you're not on that particular device, you might not be able to access that particular file, and it's also not backed up necessarily, or if you do back it up, it's a whole nother step to have to be able to drag and drop a copy into your drive. So this way you always have the most up-to-date and synced copy in your drive, and you can access it and edit it back and forth directly from your desktop. So instead of saving to my documents or to my desktop, I am going to actually select Google Drive. Now, if I try and save right here, it's not going to allow me to because I'm not saving it to a specific destination in my drive. So if I hit save, it's going to throw me back an error that looks maybe something like this. So don't panic. The only thing you'll need to do is if your screen is not already maximized, you'll just hit that little drop down arrow and you should get these options here once you've selected your Google Drive. And then you'll see folders that you have the option to save into. It just is forcing us to save into a folder. So you'll save into your My Drive folder if you don't know exactly where you want it to go. You can save into one of your Team Drive folders, or you can select a specific folder that's already in your drive to save to. So I want this most awesome document ever to go into my Holly folder. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to go ahead and close out of this document because I'm done. I just saved it. I'm done working on it for the moment. I'm ready to now access that document. You'll notice right now this icon up at the top. If I click it, it keeps track of the documents that are syncing and saving in my drive, in my file stream. So I can see if there's a check mark next to it, it is synced. If there's a blue, and this is kind of spinning here, glowing, it almost looks like it's doing, then it's still currently syncing. So when I open Google Drive file stream, I might not see this document yet until it is completely synced in there. So depending on your file size, just know to check up here to see and make sure that the document has actually synced before you try and open it again. So I'm going to open up my Google Drive from my desktop here. I'm going to go into my drive file, and I saved that document into my Holly folder. So I could obviously use the search bar. We'll go towards the bottom because I know I just recently saved this. So I see it down here at the bottom, most awesome document ever. I'm going to open up most awesome document ever. And I'm opening it directly from my Google Drive. So if I make changes now, so I'm going to make changes number 1 here, and I hit save, it knows to automatically sync and save that to Google Drive. So you'll see up here, see how the icon is kind of shimmering. That means that it is currently syncing and saving the changes from my Word document into my drive. So in my drive is the most up-to-date copy of this document. So it doesn't have to live in my desktop. It doesn't have to be in a folder in my documents on my device. It can actually live right in my drive and be updated. So I'm going to just close this just so we can double check now that it's synced. If I again access it from that location, you can see that it has synced and saved those changes. Just to quickly show a contrast, if you do save a document to your desktop or to your documents folder, and I'm going to go ahead and save as directly to my desktop here just to do a demo. So I called this documents. And so there it is on my desktop. Right now, this is not backed up in my drive because I saved it directly to my desktop. I can move it into my drive. So if I open up my drive and select my Holly folder, I can drag and drop this document in here. Now be careful because I now have made a copy of this document and placed it into my Google Drive Holly folder. You can see it's currently syncing right now. Once it's synced, I will want to access this document not from my desktop, but from my Google Drive itself. Otherwise, I will not be getting the synced changes. So this is technically, these are two different documents. When I dragged it over, I made a copy into my drive. So I can open this up from my Holly folder now. I can make changes. I can hit save, and that's going to sync directly to my drive. However, when I open up this document here that's living on my desktop, you'll notice you do not see those changes because these are two different documents. So just be careful with that aspect of FileStream. Really start to move away from saving things to your desktop and just drop them right into your drive. And then you'll always have the most up-to-date copy of whatever document or file that it is. If you do have a document that you accidentally saved to your desktop and want to move into your drive, once you've moved it over into your drive, I highly recommend that you then just delete the other copy of the document, and then you won't have any confusion.